Chris Sewall here, baseball card collector, investor, dealer in that order. Welcome everyone, regular rollers time. We're going to jump right in after I mention that this week's list is brought to you by Greg Morris Cards. More on them coming up in just a bit. We'll start with one sent in by Michael, who wrote, I lightly re-entered the hobby back in 2019, but did not venture into grading until January 2021. Having watched a number of your videos, I one day decided to look on eBay for 1980s Hall of Fame rookie cards and found an interesting auction for a quantity 83 Topps Wade Boggs rookies as a single lot and made my bid. I was thrilled to get a PSA 9 at a solid discount over recent sales, and the second card was raw but with a beautiful auto. Upon receiving the cards and thinking about the purchase, I definitely had some buyer's remorse. With limited knowledge of PSA grading standards at the time, I didn't realize that I had not purchased a PSA 9, but rather a PSA 9 PD, meaning print defect. Additionally, I hadn't thought the possibility that the auto was fake and my second card may be worthless. With a bit of time, I felt better about the purchase. At the end of the day, I was only on the deal for about $46. In the summer, I decided to flip the PSA 9 OC and successfully recovered my original cost and minimal profit. I then played the lottery by sending the auto to PSA DNA alongside a separate PSA order for $35. Here is my recently graded card. I'm now the proud owner of a PSA 5 DNA 10 auto for a 1983 Topps Wade Boggs rookie card, which is just a pop 9 with 257 higher. It seems like a good way to spend my hobby dollars. Next one was sent in by Rich, who wrote, I was scrolling through some random lots on eBay and came across this 45 card Ozzie Albies lot. Nothing huge, but I decided to toss in a bid of $30 and I assumed that I would not win. I ended up getting it for $27 plus shipping. The two Topps triple thread relics should probably get me most of that cost back, which would leave me with a smattering of $1 to $10 cards left to list on eBay or tossed into my value boxes. I won't get rich off of this one, but I think it proves you can still come across the occasional deal on eBay. Yeah, totally spot on here. I think the two triple threads will, yeah, like you said, everything you said with, I agree. The two triple threads will probably get you your money back, and then yeah, you got a lot of nice Ozzie Albies cards, including a bunch of rookies here to play with. This was sent in by Ben, who wrote, I bid on this T205 Tris Speaker SGC4 at the last second, but someone outsniped me and got it for $635. Not a huge bargain, but compared to recent comps, I would think it would be closer to about $900. And if you have it sent to eBay Vault, you would save about $50 in sales tax plus another $100 in fees when you sell it. Regardless, I think Speaker is very undervalued in the hobby, as are the T205 cards. They are impossible to find in anything higher than a 5. The gold borders are usually badly chipped, plus they are over 100 years old. Speaker is the career leaders in all-time career leaders in doubles. His career WAR is 134.9, which ranks 5th all-time, and he has a career batting average of .345, just ahead of some guys named Babe Ruth and Ted Williams, whoever they are. A great defensive player, too. He is the leader, all-time leader in career assists, double plays, and unassisted double plays by an outfielder. Second all-time in putouts. Willie Mays is first. His glove was called the place where triples go to die, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in the second inaugural class in 1937. Next is a really nice story sent in by Christian, who wrote, this isn't a single listing score, but I think it's a pretty cool story. I'm getting married this weekend, and I surprised each of my groomsmen with the most iconic rookie card of their favorite baseball players. Barry Bonds is mine. I went with a PSA slab for each to ensure quality and uniformity. I spent a little under $300 all in. We'll be carrying these with us on the big day for good luck. Very cool. Love it. Fantastic idea, and congrats on getting married. This was sent by Jared, who wrote, for better or worse, I'm a loyal White Sox fan, at least until they move to Nashville. For now, though, I thought this was a great deal for my PC. It's a 1-of-1 game-used patch from a throwback jersey plus the auto. I know Jose Abreu is probably only ever going to be in the Hall of Very Good, not the Hall of Fame, but even this year, when it's a down year for him, he still had 90 RBIs. So all things considered, about $125-ish after taxes and shipping. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I mean, that's what the hobby's all about. This is a beautiful card of a solid player, a great player, maybe an underrated player, and the price here is certainly fine, especially if it's for your PC. And you never have to explain yourself if you just really, really like a card or really like a player and a card of him, and that's always going to be enough from a collector's standpoint. This was sent in by Charlie, who wrote, thought I would share a recent purchase. On eBay, I found a 1994 finest card of my boy, Peter Forsberg. The seller listed what I believe to be a refractor as just a base card. I've noticed when this year's refractors are put through a scanner, they sort of appear a bit lighter, and it's really not clear if the card is a refractor or not. On this listing, I was pretty convinced the card pictured was a refractor, and I decided to pull the trigger. It's also worth noting that the seller listed the incorrect year in the title. Worst case scenario, I would slightly overpay for a base card at around $6 all in, but the card arrived, and I'm happy to say it is indeed the refractor and in nice condition. Forsberg is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and in my opinion, this is his most important card in the hobby. His only rookie card is a junk wax dollar bin special card, But this card here is from his actual rookie season, and it is first year for refractors in hockey. As a bonus, it is card number 1 in the set. I'm not sure what the print run is, but they don't go up for sale very often. Had the seller realized the mistake and asked to cancel, I would of course said no problem. My speculation is the seller might only do sports cards as a side hustle and just isn't aware of some of the details in card collecting. This was sent in by Sam, who wrote, I found this vintage lot while scrolling through eBay. Being an Aaron and Mantle collector, I was instantly drawn to the first photo of the listing. I put in a bid of $35, not expecting to win, but I ended up winning the lot for $20.05 with free shipping. The 67 Aaron in the upper left is from the run over by a truck and then possibly left in a puddle division. The 1968 Aaron looks like it was cut by a child to use as in a scrapbook. There's also a 61 Yaz that has the border completely cut off, as well as the Mays and Mantle checklist. The condition of these cards is terrible, but I think they're worth at least a couple dollars to someone. I know the 66 Mantle rub-offs should be able to get me all my money back for this lot if I decide to sell it. I was so intrigued by the cover photo and following 8 photos that I didn't even notice until after I'd won that this lot also included several more Hall of Famers. There's a 57 Don Newcomb and a 72 Joe Morgan with some great bonuses. Not sure what my plans are for the lot, but I can think of way worse ways to spend $20. Yeah, totally agree. You know, from a collector's standpoint, great way to spend $20. A lot of fun here to be had, and even from a resale standpoint, you probably did really well here at $20 if you went that route. You know, those are original Hank Aaron cards, and while, yeah, they're ultra low grade, they're original Hank Aaron cards from the 60s, and there are collectors who they just want to own an original Hank Aaron card, and they don't have much to spend for it, but they would really love to just own an original card no matter what the condition. They'll pay, you know, $2, $5, $8, whatever it is for those sort of cards. So there's a market for that, no question. Yeah, the Mantle looks to be pretty nice, and then couple of bonuses. I think you'd probably, you know, turn a profit if you decided to go that route as well. Next up is a card where I was the seller. It's a 2020 Donruss Optic Joe Burrow rookie, and I sold this card through Greg Morris Cards, who, as I mentioned at the beginning, is sponsoring this episode. They provide high-quality, high-res scans of both the front and back of every single card they sell. The card went in auction for $50, which is a very, very strong price for this card. I've talked about Greg Morris cards a bunch in the past, mainly in relation to raw vintage cards. That's sort of their bread and butter, what they're best known for. But they do a lot with grading, and they're sort of expanding into more modern. They've always done modern, but you're seeing more and more modern cards in their auctions sell at, you know, strong prices. And man, look at that feedback: 400,000 plus all positive, 100% positive feedback. But if you are interested in consigning with Greg Morris cards or just checking out their inventory, I highly recommend it. I've included links to both their website and their eBay page in the description below. This was sent in by Ben, who wrote, this card was sold recently on an auction site that does estate sale auctions primarily, called highbid.com. Typically cards on there sell for way too much, so I was surprised to see this Babe Ruth memorabilia selling for such a low price. It's titled 1920s Spalding Photo Babe Ruth. It was around $25 with a day left when I noticed it. I was planning on firing a bid at the last minute, but I completely forgot. And someone won it for $90 plus buyer's premium, so maybe $110 all in or so. The photo I sent is the only one listed, so it's hard to tell how big or small this thing is. Could this be a legit card? Have you seen it before? Should I always regret it? So I've never seen this card before, and I don't know what it is. My guess is that it has little to no value if it's original at all, but I don't know that for sure. It could be some expensive thing, but I would not lose sleep over not having gotten in a bid here. This was sent by Nate, who just wrote, this just felt like a good buy, so I figured I'd submit it for approval. Thanks. Yeah, 1989 Topps Tiffany John Smoltz rookie. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is, you know, I mentioned the Tiffany's a lot, and John Smoltz is a good example. He's a Hall of Famer, but his rookies are all in the junk wax era. 1989, 1988 Fleer update as well, but 88 and 89, these are the most overproduced years, and every one of his rookie cards, you know, even if you get like the 89 Upper Deck, are basically $1 or less and can be found in dollar bins, and they're just not hard to find. They're so easy to find, and there's no chase aspect to it. But at least with the Tiffany here, there's some chase aspect. This one's an SGC 8 and went for $10. You know, it's a little harder to find the Tiffany's, and that's one of the reasons I like the Tiffany's, is it provides a little bit of a fun chase aspect to some of these, you know, all-time greats whose rookie cards just happen to land in the junk wax era. This was sent by Aaron, who wrote, I just had to tell you about picking up this Kawhi Leonard Prism rookie for only $38. I can remember when this card was going well north of $200 raw. Times have certainly changed, and I'll take it. Yeah, this is you're exactly right. This card was going over $200 raw, maybe even more than that, 2 to 3 years ago, sort of during the peak of the boom. This card's actually a pretty good representation of the boom of the hobby is 2012 Prism. Prism was exploding, and this is the first year of Prism, so collectors were putting a lot of stock into that. Kawhi Leonard, this is the rookie card of a future Hall of Famer, so obviously people putting a lot of stock into that. And cards like this just got way, way, way too high. I mean, it's a very cool card. It's a significant rookie of like I said, a future Hall of Famer, but it's not a super rare card. It's fairly common, so it has no business being hundreds of dollars. The $38 or $43, whatever it is, all in. Is a much more reasonable price tag, and I think that's healthier for collectors. We'll say, a lot of people can't put $200 into a card like this, whereas probably a lot more people can put $40 into it. And we'll finish on a vintage bargain. Although this is a little more expensive than normal regular Rollers listings, but this was sent by Hunter, who wrote, "I was browsing caramel cards on eBay when I came across this old label SGC 1.5 E93 Sai Young, ending in a day and at a surprisingly low price from a seller with only 13 feedback and pretty bad photos. I knew this was covered by the eBay Authenticity Guarantee program, so I threw in a bid with 10 seconds left and went unchallenged. The card is not a stunner, but I would have bought it in a second had it been a buy it now with that price, so I was pretty satisfied. I'm generally not a fan of the Authenticity Guarantee program when buying slabs from trusted sellers, but I don't think I'd have made this purchase without it." Yeah, a couple great points here. First of all, you got this at a total bargain. This card in this grade, I would expect to sell for more like $1,000, so you got it basically at 2/3 market value, we'll say here. And yeah, very good point about the eBay Authenticity Guarantee program. I'm not a huge fan of it either at this point, but this is a case where it is very useful. I mean, if you're buying a sort of expensive card from a seller with very, very low feedback, yeah, you want it, and that's one time you're going to really want to make sure that you're not getting scammed or whatever it is. But that's it. Thank you everyone for watching this week's Regular Rollers. Thank you as always everyone for all your great submissions. And remember, whether you are high or regular, keep on rolling. Thanks everyone.